Hey, what's up, Uncharted community? This is Squid here doing I guess what you could say, the first ever community award. Community, you know, reception. Community, let's pat this guy on the back and give him a round of, gal, it doesn't really matter. Pat this individual on the back, give him a round of applause, say thank you for what you've done, and, just kind of give recognition to the person that deserves it. And I had mentioned this before in a thread. I was going to do Scoot Gar first, but he cordially passed it on. He said, you know what, give somebody else an opportunity. So here you go, Scoot. I'm giving you a little shout-out right now. You deserve one, man. Maybe we'll do it in the future. But right now I actually have Mr. Fakehound himself here joining me on this short little interview, if you will. What's up, Fake?
Not much, man.
Yeah, it's pretty late. I kind of contacted him at the last minute. I was like, "Hey, it's like 12 a.m. Do you want to do this now?" And he's like, yeah, sure." But like I said, the point of this Fakehound is to kind of bring to light the things that you've done, kind of give you appreciation for just being a good role model. I guess that's what it really comes down to. Is these people, the people that will be a part of this, are role models for the community. People that have done the right thing, have done everything they could to benefit others, and kind of shed light onto whatever they feel passionately about, whatever they feel strongly about. So the first question, Fake, what is it that attracts you so heavily to the Uncharted 3 model?
Well, I would have to say, it's just, really, I've never really played a game like Uncharted before. I started games off with, like I've said to you before, my first game I played ever was online, would have to be Splinter Cell Double Agent, which was a fantastic game, and it was a really fun game, and it was, it was like a casual experience, but it wasn't really balanced. And then, I moved on over the years to different games, Metal Gear Online, which was also a really just a fun game. It was very competitive, and Metal Gear Online got me into, competitive gaming. And because I just loved the tournaments and everything. And then in about, I think it was 2010, I got an Uncharted 2 kind of late, and I just fell in love with it automatically. As soon as I played it, I'm just like, it was just something special. It was simple, but it was just, I don't know, complex at the same time. But it was really just fun, all out. But I really wasn't attracted to the health in Uncharted 2. Because, I got there late. I got way past its glory days. But, I started off with Uncharted 3 and with the beta, and I absolutely loved it. It was everything that I wanted Uncharted 2 to be.
Dream come true, huh?
Yeah, it was it was perfect. And then, Subway beta came around, and, they changed some things up. But, things are looking better now, and it's just, I just wanted a game that I could have fun with. And I'm a very social kind of person. I like to play with friends, and I don't ever really like to play alone. And I made a lot of friends during Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 2, and it's really just the people, the game, and just the characters, and just everything just seems, I don't know, it's really just
it's an intangible.
Yeah.
It's not something you can fully describe. It's one of those things it's like you have to feel it and understand it.
Yeah.
I completely understand. You kind of jump through games and you find different things to kind of manipulate that for you. Like I said multiple times, I'm a huge Rainbow Six fan. I have been for years. It was my first competitive game. It's what I jumped into. And in 2008, when that franchise kind of died out, I was in a limbo. Mm-hmm. And I understand that whole process of when you find a game that really, like Splinter Cell, I know exactly what you're talking about. That game was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the multiplayer of it. It was a blast, and it was kind of a side, kind of a side thing from playing Rainbow. But it's the same thing with Uncharted. I guess I could say the exact same thing for myself, as I progressed just like you did. And so it's good to know that other people are have the same kind of value of the franchise like you do. That's the same kind of progression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we progress in similar fashion to how we view Uncharted. And I'm sure a lot of people can say the same thing. I'm sure a lot of people that are listening to this can be like, you know what? I fell in love, like you said, the characters. I fell in love with the look, the feel, the fact that it was a third-person shooter. All those different things, and that's how I always try to explain it to people. And I'm sure you do the exact same thing. Like when they ask you why Uncharted, and it's kind of one of those things. Like, you know what? You got to experience it.
Yeah.
You got to experience it with friends. You got to get on. You got to know what you're doing. You got to get your feet wet and understand. Level up a good distance. Know what you're doing. Understand the maps, and then it just hits you one day. You're like, bam! This is what I want to play all the time.
Yeah, it's just you just know that's it's it. You finally found that one thing that that you just really just enjoy. More than other things that you thought you would enjoy more. But it's just I don't know. Yeah, it's just an experience. I mean, it's for some people, and it's not for some people. But Uncharted, it was just my thing, and it's a lot of other people's thing too. And
well, hopefully it stays that way for quite a while.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But all right, well, see, these are the kind of responses we're going to get here, people. Well thought out, intelligent, factual responses are going to give you exactly the in-depth look into the psyche of that person, of that player. Maybe that's kind of another thing. Is like it's just maybe profiling. There'll be a profiling of that player and why they do what they do. And that's the next thing I'm going to ask you. You're pretty active in the forums. A lot of people. I guess we could say there's about 100 people that come on the forums and communicate on a regular basis. I mean, you could start naming them off the top of your head, but I mean that's really the gist. And you have all these other people that just come and go, and they just they're there at times and then they're not, and then they pop into certain threads. But you've had a pretty heavy impact, especially with Naughty Dog, on a certain thread that you made, and also previous threads and comments that you've made in threads, and how you feel about the game itself. I mean, we're gonna go straight into it. I guess your throwback or your classic game, if you will, is a hot topic, or at least it has been. I haven't seen it in a while. Maybe it's just kind of one of those things like we're expecting it to come, and we're expecting it to be here by now. But I mean, I guess one of the things is like, how exactly did that progress? I mean, like, were you just sitting there one day and you're like, man, I really missed the Uncharted 3 mold and the way that this game played. Maybe I should say something about this now. Maybe I should bring back, maybe that's what hardcore was supposed to be, was Uncharted 2, if you will. But, I mean, explain why, or just the reasoning behind you starting that, and what kind of spawned that idea.
Well, usually I would think at the time, I was going for hardcore treasures, I remember. And in the beta, I liked hardcore more. I liked the idea of it. And I didn't really play that much, but I enjoyed what I played of it. And then I got Uncharted 3 late. I got it around about a month late. And I played hardcore. I didn't really enjoy it that much. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I just mostly spent my time with TDM and everything. But I remember one day I was talking to my friends about just like hardcore, and they did not like it. I mean, they just flat out said, it's not what they wanted. And I was thinking, like, I always have these ideas in my head, and I love to just see what people think about something. It doesn't have to be right, wrong. I just like to know, what people feel and think about a subject. And I remembered I saw one classic mode thread. I cannot remember for the life of me who made it. I think it was God, I cannot remember. But it didn't get very many views, and a couple of months passed, and I'm like, okay, well, I love Uncharted 2, and what I loved about the game was just the feel of it. But what I didn't, like was, I got to the party late, and the health was horrible, and so I figured this was an opportunity. This would be a great way to have people that just loved Uncharted 2, to come back to the game, or the people that were already playing Uncharted 2, or Uncharted 3. They could have that extra variety and just
we knew what you meant.
Yeah, that game that you just you'd love. And I decided, for the hell of it, why not? And I didn't expect Naughty Dog to do anything, but I decided to make a thread, and I built upon it. And surprisingly enough, actually not really surprisingly, but like some threads, they get a lot of attention and some don't. And this one, like right off the bat, it got a lot of attention. And I sent, I think it was Cog when it, yeah, Cog, Mark Cogburn or whatever his name is. Sorry. I sent him a PM, and I think because I remember seeing him on the forums, replying to one of the lab threads, and so I'm like, okay, why not? I haven't seen him on the forums, and this would be a perfect time. And he actually looked at my message and he responded to the thread, and like the thread just boomed right after that, and people got so excited and happy.
It blew up fast.
And like I was overjoyed because like I wanted to see what people thought, but I never thought it would get to where it got. And I got I saw all these people excited and everything, and I just knew that I couldn't give up on people, and because people want this to happen so much. And I know Naughty Dog knows they want it to happen, but as of right now, we don't know what's going to happen. I've been messaging Eric and Cog to see if they would respond.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they do in the future, but like I don't know. I've gotten sidetracked. I don't even remember the original question, but
the original question is like what? It's fine, man. You start getting on. You get on a roll. You start talking about things, and you're like we have a lot of similarities. Like one thing leads you to another, and it leads you to another, and leads you to another, and then you're like, wait a minute, where did I start?
Yeah.
So the original question was, what kind of what's the driving force behind why you create these things, and that's the kind of thing. Is like in this community, there's not a lot of people that really understand, taking initiative, taking the opportunity to, hey, I got a voice, and I could say something here, and I know what I'm talking about. So you jump on there and you say what you got to say, and it makes sense to people. And the thing is like that's what you're trying to do. I mean, like what causes that? What drives inside of you for you to do it? Is it because you love the game? Is it because you just feel like, hey, you feel like you have a voice, or you feel like you should use it? I mean, what exactly? That's what we're trying to get at here, just so people understand you as a person and why these threads pop up like they do.
Yeah, well, I have to say, first off, it's because, I'm not gonna lie, I just love the game, and I want to enjoy the game myself. But also, I love the people. All the people on the forums. There's so many friends I have on this game. So many friends on the forums that I have, and it's just the people on the forums. I want to see Uncharted 3 really just grow, and I want it to be that awesome game. Because I'm kind of, not even gonna lie, I'm a little bit, slightly a PlayStation fanboy at heart. Like I don't have any problem with the Xbox, but like I wanted to see PlayStation have that one game. And with Uncharted, I saw all this opportunity, but, like the PlayStation, it really is not known for its, competitive side. And I wanted to just have, like, classic mode is like the perfect kind of competitive, mode. And I thought, Uncharted would benefit a lot with that. And I just, besides just wanting to have a great game myself, I also want other people to have a great game. And really, that's just all it is to it. I just want people to have fun. That's what makes me happy. Is just having fun myself and seen other people have fun. That's really all I can say to it.
Well, I mean that's a good answer. I mean that is well thought out, and it's defining as you as a person, and I think that's why it's easy for people to connect with you and really establish a friendship with you because you're a straightforward, honest, diligent individual, and you understand. In a lot of ways, like I don't think people realize the purpose of community is to build relationships with the people around you. It's not because you're here to gripe 24/7. It's not because you're here to, pick fights or put people on blast or YouTube this or whatever it may, whatever all those things that kind of get in the way of the true meaning behind this. And no, the important thing is if you grasp and understand those opportunities, it's easy for you as a person to really establish like kind of a following. Because I mean, you're Fakehound. You have a following now. I mean, like you're the guy that started the classic mode thread. I mean, that's what people are going to know you for. Like, yes, you did the 150 things you learned playing Uncharted 3. I remember that thread. I think, didn't you start one of the thanks threads? I don't remember. There's so many there's like 4 of them now. Did you start one of those, or was that just
honestly, I think that was Scoot. I'm pretty sure.
It was Scoot, and then like, God, I'm gonna butcher her name. Saren Talesa, I think.
Yeah.
How you say it? She started one. I could have swore there was another one that you did, but I could be wrong. And I haven't, all I've really seen is that classic mode thread. But that's the purpose. That's the point here. And like I said, we're trying to profile you as an individual. And a question I know you're going to have a lot to say about is, let's say it's January 2013. Where do you see this franchise? I mean, where do you see this franchise, this community? You could put them all together in one. You could answer them separately. However you want to do it. I mean, what do you see through your eyes?
What I see is if people really start to support Uncharted 3 in the way that I really want them to, I could see this game just being the flagship, PlayStation multiplayer title.
And I'm going to stop you real fast. What is Fakehound's design? I mean, like when you said the way I want it to, what is that exactly?
I want a fun game. I want a balanced game, and I want a game that really just doesn't make people mad, because you have all these multiplayer games that just, frankly, they piss people off, and I don't like it when people play a game and they're always griping or something like that, and that's usually just because the game has something that is broken or annoying or glitches, and I want to see just Uncharted 3 be the best it can be. And of course, you're not going to be able to stop everybody. People are going to get mad because we're people. That's just what we do.
Yeah.
But I just want to see a game where we're just happiness. I don't know.
I see what you mean. No, it doesn't. I think you look at it as a support group. You want it to where people can come, or like a treehouse in a sense. You want people to come to this place and feel accepted. You want them to come to this place and feel like, you know what, I have fun here. Sure, there's plenty of things that bother me. Like Ryan Cool's thread, the current state of Uncharted, I stated in there, like, look, we're never going to get past the negativity. It's going to hover around. It's going to be there. I mean, that's just part of being a human being, like you said. But it's one of those things like either you move past it, or you move through it, or you wallow in it forever.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of those things like if you move past it and you make it a fun place for people, not so much that you have to wait for somebody else to do it for you. If you make it fun, if you find ways to make it entertaining for yourself, that's what I feel like you're saying. That's what I feel like if my interpretation of what you're trying to say is maybe because I know you, maybe because I know how you talk, or you speak, sorry, but I think it's one of those things where I understand that, and I guess that's why I'm trying to explain this for those who don't know you so as well. They can understand, like, when you're just trying to give off the top of your head answer, it's not always going to be the most in-depth thing.
Yeah.
So giving them another look from an outsider's view of how I view you as a person, I think it really helps establish that. But anyway, sorry. Going back to the original question, where do you see this game in January 2013?
2013. Now, would you say like the way that I would want to see it, or just how things are just headed?
Just what you think. Not so much what you want it to be, because we know what you want it to be. Yeah. But where do you think it will be realistically?
Realistically, I think Naughty Dog are gonna fix a couple things. They're gonna probably they're gonna add the labs in. They're gonna obviously patch some things in, and but 2013, I would say this game. I'm still thinking it's gonna be pretty active. I think Uncharted 3 is going to be just like Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 was very active even after 1.05 and everything. Still a lot of people played it, and I think the same thing's going to happen with Uncharted 3. But I think that really it's going to be just like, I think it's going to be kind of like a small community, like a competitive community, and then you always have the casual players and everything, which is fine. I see Uncharted 3 being a better game than it is right now, and hopefully it's going to be very competitive, it's going to be very fun, and I just want to see, what I like is when people, post videos and everything, and just, like, I don't know, like, fun stuff, like, it doesn't have to be, like, doing amazing scores or something. I just want to see this game just take a name for itself and everything, But in 2013, I still think this game's going to be going great. I think that it's still going to have its problems. The problems are they're going to be problems that are never going to be fixed, most likely. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I just see the game being better than it is right now, but it's really up to the community about, making it the best that it can be. And, hopefully you guys will just make it, awesome, because, like Squids, you've been saying, we have to take the initiative. We can't just, wait for something to happen. We have to, go for it ourselves.
There comes a time and point where, you can't wait around on everybody else to do things for you. I mean, I know, sadly, in a lot of ways, this generation, a lot of people in this generation kind of have that mentality, that mantra about them, because, that's a lot of things are given to us, more so than it was in previous times. But it's just one of those things like, look, if you want something to happen, you just don't wait for someone to do it for you. You take care of it. And if you don't have the tools to get what you want, you find ways around it. Mm-hmm. You jerry-rig what you got to do, and you get, to your goal however you possibly get to it. It may not be exactly what you thought it was going to be at the beginning, but in the end you're like, you know what, this is satisfactory. I feel like I did everything I could with the materials that I had, and look, all these happy people now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, like, you can, you can always try something, and that's, it's better than doing nothing. Like, I would rather try and fail than, live with, like, never trying at all. Because you always have that, what if? Like, oh, this could have been such a great game or something. Well, at least, you tried something. And it doesn't matter if it works out or not. Hopefully it works out. But, at least you did something.
Definitely. I mean, that's why, that's why we're doing this. This is the purpose of this. It's not to boost egos. It's not to, fluff you up for whatever reason. It's to let people know, like, look, here's a person that had an idea and took the initiative to take care of it, and they cared about the people around them. They admired the friendships they made, and that's the purpose of this. Like, that this, I hope, by doing this, it will galvanize other individuals and be like, you know what, Fakehound's right. I like the way he did this, so it's going to make me want to do this too. And I'm going to try it this way, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say that, and, maybe a little spawn, maybe you'll start an enlightenment, and within the community where people will take more initiative to do, hey, I have this idea. And you know what, that idea may not be perfect or completely fleshed out at first, but with the help of people like you and those who really care about those ideas and love that kind of stuff, will jump in and be like, hey, you know what, that's a good idea. What if we do it this way? Or what if we change it around and add this? Or do these kind of things? Like, that's exactly the purpose of this. And just your answers alone throughout this, however long, 23 minutes that we've been doing this so far, the answers that you've given just add so much brevity to exactly how myself, guys, it's late, I'm losing my mind, but how I see it, how I want things to happen. Because, I'll be honest, I have a slight initiative goal behind this. I want to broadcast people that I believe have done a great deal for people in this community, and I want people to say, like, look, here is the positivity. Positive, positive, positive. Reinforcing the positive, pat you on the back, you're doing a great job, keep trying hard, we'll see you at the finish line, we'll give you a high five and a Gatorade and whatever else. That's what I want to do. I'm not always a positive person, but when I'm around other people, I feel like I have to radiate that so they always feel like, you know what, I got it in me. I know I can do this. I know this can be taken care of. And that's just what it comes down to. So finding more people like that and building those kind of, building a new frontier for Uncharted, that's the important piece here. And this is just one step forward. So you were the first of many, hopefully, that kind of give out this, your own personal, dissertation of why you love Uncharted and what you think this game should do and how we should take care of it. But you know what? I really appreciate you, coming on here at such a late time and, talking to me about, or just kind of giving your heart out on how you feel about this franchise. And, I'm sure we could talk for another hour and a half, 2 hours about this stuff, and I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to. And I want to get to the point real fast. And I think people will understand Fakehound is a good guy. He knows what he's doing. You know, I like the stuff he does, and people will take more notice to that in the future. And like I said, that's the purpose of this. So, Fakehound, I appreciate you coming on here, you know, talking to me, giving everything you've got in short, concise. I mean, you did a great job. Your answers were very concise and straight to the point, and you didn't wallow around, and you didn't fumble over you didn't stumble over yourself, like but you knew exactly what you wanted to say because you thought about this. You've been thinking about this for months, so it's just been sitting in the back of your mind, and then now somebody gives you the opportunity to talk about it in a more verbal setting. You know, typing's different. Typing, you always seem to miss stuff, but when you're talking, you can really understand, and you could hear and feel the passion behind that person and how they project themselves. You can hear it in their voice, even more so if you actually get to see the person. But this is all we got right now, so it's one of those things, you know. But I myself, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate you as a forum friend. You know, you're on my friends list. We play whenever I see you on. It's just one of the things, you know. As a person, I don't know about everybody else, but I appreciate you. I appreciate what you've done. I appreciate what you give to people around this community, and I hope you keep doing it. I hope you don't ever, you know, get down on yourself, and I hope people look at you as a role model and be like, you know what, I'm going to try to be like that too. I'm going to do a more positive outlook on what I'm doing. I'm going to start a thread about something like this, you know, but there's plenty of people doing it. Like, it's the customized thread. It's
yeah, there are loads of threads on there.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's tons of things. You know, maybe we'll have you know, there could be a funny, humorous thread that could pop up in a future episode of the community ward, or whatever you want to call it. I still don't even know what I'm calling that. I'm just going to call it the community ward until I really find an idea. Like, I wanted to, you know, my friends over at DRMB, they call their awards the Revies. You know, like Revive, Revies. You know, DRMB stands for Don't Revive Me, Bro. They stole my name completely. I'm kidding. No, I completely pawned it off them. But I'm going to try to come up with something along those lines. So if you have an idea, if you're listening to this, you have an idea, PM me, send me a message on PSN, whatever, you know, Frag Nation, whatever, and just say, hey, I think this is a cool idea. You should do it like this. But that's pretty much it. Again, like I said, Fakehound, thank you so much for coming on here and giving everything you got. Before we go, you know, you got your however many seconds or minutes that you want to shout out your final statement, your final thought, whatever it may be. So, ready, set, go.
All right. First off, I'd say thank you, Luxus. He's a dear good friend of mine from the forums. He's an awesome guy, and he's been helping me a lot with the classic mode thread. He's helped me a lot with the signatures, and he's also been helping the community a lot with their signatures too. So I gotta say, thank you, man. You are awesome, and yeah, I want to have your kids, if that's possible. And my good friend Rems, who's just always cheers me up when I'm playing Uncharted. I don't know if you've ever played with Rems, but she's just freaking awesome.
Once or twice, I think.
Rems is amazing, and a lot of her friends.
I think he was in a party with Pete also. I think she was in there with Pete.
Oh, yeah, and Pete too. Pete has some good... I can't talk.
Pete, the resident manic depressive of Uncharted. But
keep making those essays, Pete.
Yeah, diatribe is a better way to say it. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, and just thank you guys for supporting the threads you've been supporting, and just for being you, because even if, you know, you're in a bad mood or anything, I love to read your guys' comments and everything, and I like to know what you guys think. Like, I just made a thread like a minute ago. It was like it was an Uncharted 4 flashback thread or whatever. Yeah. And, you know, it's not going to have any impact on the game. It's not going to do anything, but I just want to, you know, to people just to use their imaginations and just make something from nothing. And that's what I like people to be happy, and I wanted to just say thank you guys for supporting me and for supporting Uncharted.
Well, you know what, man? We appreciate you. We wish you good luck. And hopefully we'll see some positivity rain down on top of Fakehound itself. But if you're listening to this, you're probably in the thread itself. We're going to have a little breakdown of who Fakehound is. I have some funny little questions I want to give him. Typical Squid style. Totally off basis. They're not going to make a whole lot of sense, but they're going to be funny to me. If you guys don't laugh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to laugh at them. But that's all that matters here, right? It's Squid's jokes and nobody else's. No, I'm kidding. But we're going to have that, and you can listen to this. Obviously, you're listening to it right now.
Hopefully.
But and then you'll have an opportunity to say, hey, Fakehound, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hey, Fakehound, high five. Hey, Fakehound, add me on PSN. You sound like a great guy. Let's play. Hey, Fakehound, party at your place. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever we're going to talk about here. But so to the community, we thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, definitely.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
No problem, man. I had a little brain fart there, and I had stopped thinking about it. I was just like, wait, what was I supposed to say next? I don't remember. I don't script anything, so it's just off the top of my head half the time. But anyways, this is the end of episode, or I guess Community Award 1 to Fakehound, and we appreciate you listening. And community members, I will see you guys in the future with another Community Award. In the meantime, take it easy.
Later.
Peace.